So I've been using this Cleantech Air Purifier now this week, and just wanted to give some of my takeaways and general impressions with this unit. So gives you a good idea of the scale. You're probably talking about 18 inches tall. The filter element is actually at the bottom, and that is taken out with these 4 feet. Just unscrew and the filter comes out. So it's fairly easy. Perhaps not quite as easy as having something with just a removable lid or something, you know, that I'm more used to with some of my other air purifiers. This thing does have 2 speed settings. It has a high and more of like a medium. I wouldn't say low, because on medium it still is you know, generating quite a bit of airflow, and didn't notice much of a power difference. I was looking at about 44 watts on high and about 37 watts on the medium setting, which is actually pretty good as far as power consumption goes. And that's also keeping in mind that this has one of those UV lights built in on the inside, and you can barely see it on when it's pitch black, so it's not something that's very bright. And that is also one of the pros that I like behind this unit, is that there really isn't much for light. So as far as anything that's going to be annoying, on one of my air purifiers from Germ Guardian, it has a bright light that's a center kind of circular ring, and you cannot shut that off. So being in someone's bedroom at night gets kind of annoying, and you almost would need to tape that off. This doesn't have that. The only light on here is when the power's on, and it's just a little tiny LED. So that's one thing I do like. So that being said, there's only 2 speed settings. So, you know, that could be considered a drawback, but only if you're someone that really needs, you know, multiple settings. So if you want to be able to sleep with this on a very, very low setting, I don't have a problem with the 2 settings it has as far as sleeping goes. I kind of like some of that white noise, but if you're someone that doesn't, that is something to keep in mind here. That being said, I would recommend something like this maybe for someone that really doesn't want to mess around with like Bluetooth features or Wi-Fi features. It does not have like a sensor for particulates that are in the air to adjust the fan speed based on, you know, whatever's floating around in your air. So I could see this being, you know, good for like elderly. So if I were to buy this for like a grandparent or something that just literally wants to be able to push a button and walk away, this would be a good candidate for something like that. One other thing to note is that it starts off on the high setting. So when you click the on button, it starts on high, and it'll automatically go down to standby mode after 2 hours. And I do believe that's so you don't burn out the motor. I have had a motor burn out on one of my purifiers from keeping it on high too long. So it is something to consider. You know, you're going to get that on medium. Like I said, it does generate a decent amount of airflow, but it's all stuff to keep in mind. Also, I did notice at first when running this, you do get a little bit of a plastic smell. And I believe that's just kind of, you know, a little bit of off-gassing from the filter and the unit itself. So, you know, you can just run it with the windows open for, you know, half hour to an hour, and that'll help clear out some of that. And you get that with some of these air purifiers. So overall, it was easy to set up, easy to get everything going. Very straightforward unit. Like I said, you have an on, it starts off on high, and that's the noise level you can expect on high. And keep in mind, this is on a wood table. If you have this on carpet, it'll be a little bit quieter, but if you have wood floors, this is a good representation of what it's going to sound like. And then on low or medium. So I could sleep with it on this setting, no problem. And even just sitting here, I can feel it sucking air into the bottom. And it does have a good amount coming out the top, so I do get a feeling like this is going to get air flow pretty good. And one unique thing that this has that some others don't is this actually is sucking in air from the entire bottom. So I can feel air coming in from all around. Some units just have, you know, a few little air vents, This actually is sucking air from all over in the room, and it's going up through the top, which is really good. So like if this is on carpet, and as you're walking past, you start generating some of that, dander and dust, it's going to suck it in, get it in the filter, and blow out clean air out the top. And you can actually see the filter with this unit tipped upside down. The UV light too, in case you're interested or wondering what that's all about, the UV light is supposed to kill germs in the air. So again, going back to this being a very simple unit, other units I've had, it's a separate button that you have to click to turn on the UV. On this unit, it's on all the time. So all you have to do is click it on, walk away, and you are done. So very simple unit. I will post a link to the Amazon page in the description below. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.